Hello, CP.
Hi, Pious.
What is up?
We're recording the podcast now because on our calendar it says that Tuesday we will sit down.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily do that.
Yeah.
But today we're doing that.
Yeah.
So does that mean all podcasts will come out on Tuesdays?
No, it doesn't mean that. But
Then?
it's just really there's a reminder that
There's a calendar entry that we feel no obligation to follow or not
Yeah.
follow.
we can do it at any other time also. But
That feels
just
good.
one reminder.
Does that feel good?
Yeah, it does.
Does it feel easy?
It's easy.
It's there. It's not there.
It's a friend of mine messaged saying that she has started posting more, seeing the freeness that both of us post with.
Oh, that's very nice.
And
Tell me, mouth the name to me. Okay.
and I feel that
Never forget who sent you this reminder.
Awesome.
Okay, so much love to her
Okay.
if she hears this.
Yeah. No, she'd have to.
No, let's see if she hears it. We won't tell her to hear it specifically. Games.
Okay.
Oh
no,
my God.
And
Okay.
like I post semi-freely, I feel, but I feel you really post freely.
No, I just don't do anything. I do what happens.
You do what happens, right? But that is a very different way than
You post freely.
yeah.
Now you do.
Yeah.
You have talk about time since you left your job.
It's very interesting. Yes. Yesterday night, I was up till sometime. I was watching documentaries on trees and things like that. It was very interesting. But also, somehow I got inspired to make a list of all the things that have happened in the last 2 years.
Have you written it down?
Yeah.
Bring it. Is it on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so just pull it out. I didn't know this. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we
We've
didn't
not
talk about
talked
this. And
since morning.
We've not talked since
We've,
I wrote
like,
this actually.
We've just wished each other happy 12 years of being together, living together.
Yeah.
Which is also cool. That is today.
My notes is open on that list.
Very
also.
nice. तब फिर बोल ही दो उसमें से जो बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पर. मुझे नहीं पता.
Yeah, so it's going to be a slightly filtered list,
Of
but I will
course.
say
But
these things.
it's
But
authentic.
it was very beautiful.
It's just what you want to feel ready to share right now.
I was going to tell you about this thing right after we recorded the podcast, and I'm just telling you before that I did this. I was going to share these with you.
चलो कुछ दो चार बोलो.
One, relationship with parents, got closer to them, talked to all of them about their
The
childhood.
way you say all, it confuses people.
Yeah, all
Like
of them.
how many are all? 2, 20?
3 parents.
Is it just 3?
3 parents.
3 that we count.
Yeah. And so 3 of them.
No, but why I said wait, not to cause confusion. Doesn't mean you have, but because there's so many people that play such a pivotal role in our life at this point.
They're also sort of parents.
Those also we spoke to at length.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to speak. But anyway, sorry.
Fair
This
question.
is your list. Go ahead.
So all of them, I had conversations with them about their childhood also. Like I talked to them in a way in which I had never talked to them before. And that made all of them into human beings for me.
Wow.
Which,
What does that mean?
I didn't
Were
see.
they not humans?
No, they were they were abstract concepts.
They were parents.
Yeah,
They were
parents.
mom, dad, and mom.
Yeah, they were parents, and I mostly knew. I didn't ask too many questions as a kid, or by a kid. I'll say I didn't ask too many
Never.
questions as an adult.
Till
them.
those conversations that
Yeah.
happened after you left your job.
So I didn't really know too much about them. I didn't know about their early life, especially. I knew whatever they were sharing with me. So asking all of those questions then that I had in my mind that just came up in the conversation, it was really, really wonderful to see them as people who live lives like I've lived a life.
You
I
are
didn't know
living,
that at all.
and they're also living. But
Yeah.
just people like you and me,
Yeah.
living their lives, making their mistakes, learning at whatever rate, and growing
Yeah.
and being and healing and sharing and trying to do the best with you and everybody involved.
So that is definitely a very big thing. Uh, Feeling like realizing what, and this is a whole theme of things that come under this, and realizing that there is so much to living life itself that I was very blind to. Like the experience of cooking, the experience of
Acha, now this
making food for yourself.
for me, you have
making
fed
food
me these last many months.
Yeah, making like lots of food for
That
you.
time when my foot was broken,
Yeah.
you remember that time? And it was a tough time. I had so much planned for work, for life, and my foot broke, and I was stuck in one place, completely dependent on you. Right foot broke, nahi, ligament phat gaya, and I understood. I knew before only that something is coming of this nature. Anyway, at that time you brought food to me. One day suddenly, you've given me food lots of times, but one day suddenly you came with a plate behind your back,
Oh.
and you showed me what was in that plate, and it was theplas, perfectly made, round, cute, yummy theplas, and I just started crying before eating also.
You
Because
wiped your tears
with the thepla. No, I wouldn't waste the thepla like that. Thepla is to be put in like some nice sabzi and eaten with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. And that is something you gave me. You were able to create that for me. I have found myself, not anymore, but in life I have found myself unable to nourish myself because of my own, I'm not blaming, but I don't have another word, so I'll say conditionings. And that's well and good. But that gesture that you did nourished me.
Yeah.
My heart, it didn't nourish my hunger. It did. I was always hungry during those days, but it nourished my soul. It nourished everything. Whatever soul is, it nourished all of me. It's like a nice bath.
Yeah.
You were able to do that.
Yeah, and I remember at that time it became such an important thing for me also because I think we didn't have a cook then, right?
No.
It's just
God
the
knows
opportune
what was I
time.
eating all the time?
The opportune time the cook also disappeared. We didn't have any
Yeah, oh my God, I forgot about that. We had a proper
That whole
cook. We had
incident.
trained there was a whole incident. That's a whole podcast series. by
That'll
itself.
be a different sort of series.
Yeah, true crime. No, don't give ideas. Funny comedy, true crimes.
Yeah.
CTC.
Yeah. So at that point of time, like I've always seen that there's a certain number of days that pass and then you can eat other things in that time. But if you don't get
Food.
Yeah, your soul food, then you get
soul,
really bothered.
Yeah, then soul gets hungry.
Obviously, right?
That's it.
So just seeing that you were.
And I needed. How will a guju's ligament come back sans thepla?
the muscle gets created out of thepla.
Out of thepla and aloo.
It's amazing. So yeah, cooking food for you so many times, like making different aloo dishes, and that brought me so much love also.
You cooked so much.
Taking care of you was a thing that I wasn't confident about before.
Yeah,
so.
I wasn't confident that you'd be able to.
And the extent to which I had to take care of you was just something.
I guess
It's
you
really
had
lovely.
to. No, I tried to do things. Like, I remember the first day I got the cask. What is it called? Cast. Oh my god! Cask is when you are dead, no? The first day when I got the cast on, that first night at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, never I go to the bathroom at that time, but that night, because I'm just sitting around. No, I need to use the loo more, not dispensing my water in other ways. I had to go to the loo and I went by myself. It was tricky, but casts are okay. Like, it's still tricky, but they're okay.
Yeah.
But everything else, wheelchair time. And then to the electric wheelchair came.
Yeah.
Those were my party days.
Yeah.
Party, full day party.
That was such a connecting experience also already at that point of time, and that's such a big thing. That's a very big change for me, which is to be. I think you knew quite a few people, and you knew a bunch of kids around
Not
the place.
quite a few, like some
but
decent number, but not when you compare to what we know now.
Yeah. You getting hurt became that excuse for every.
Let's not call it excuse. Opportunity or
fine. Opportunity.
A reason.
A
A
reason
limit.
for someone to connect.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people that said that also. That we
We've
see you
seen
guys
you,
so much,
we
but
wondered
we didn't know how to come
say
and say.
hello. But that was so nice.
Yeah.
It
So many
healed.
people.
It healed a lot of us. I feel like, because not in that sense of their ligaments didn't grow. Otherwise, they'd have to. Anyway, but it grew. Something grew. There's those are the people. Some of them are the people that those kids. There was a kid. Names shall not be named, but there was a kid who was a new kid in the condo at the time. Cycle and a little windmill on his cycle. Adorable kid. It was absolutely new. I don't think he had any friends at the time, and he would come to me, put his hand out, we would high five, and he'd go away.
Yeah.
That happened for a long time before he and I ever spoke. And then now we are like hug buddies and best friends in a manner of speaking. I have many best friends of all ranges and sizes, and identify as every form of gender.
Yeah.
But
It was very
that
cute, and that was the
also
same. That was
you also
cute.
connected
There was
to
this.
people.
Yeah, I talked to so many people during that, and I remember that one evening where there was impromptu games that then just happened with all those kids, and that was one of the most fun things.
Because a little context to that is that before me being in a wheelchair for a month, and at that time when I was on my electric wheelchair, my cast had to come off for a reason. So that was the trickiest part of the healing. Because I needed the cast, but I couldn't put on a cast because of the rotting foot from water. At that time, before my hurt, the kids would play. We would play together. Like, I would just go for a walk, and then there are these kids that would just climb me.
Yeah.
So they were missing that also. There were kids who would just come home and play. We would play, like, individually they would come. Like, we'll go to Chetna Auntie's and Pious Uncle's house. But they were missing it also.
Yeah.
We played. There was a lot of fun that day.
That was really fun.
We were like, 8, 9 kids?
Yeah.
And I was impromptu making games.
Yeah.
And they were going around collecting, playing
Yeah.
with natural things. No need for any toys.
Yeah.
We were playing with twigs and all.
Yeah.
Great art was created.
Yeah. We saw so much creativity from them.
Well, this is a good time to plug. Well, it wasn't our plan, but it's a good time to plug all of the This Is Life events for kids that are coming up. We will watch this space for more.
We will watch
It's like,
this space also.
yeah, because it's like we are all TV kids, no? TV
Yeah.
and internet kids. So all of this marketing is just there in our head. Boom, 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 boom. So let us just recycle and come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will watch this space for more. It's exciting. Yeah. So what else did you do since you left
So
your
that
job?
was the cooking food for myself was one of the
Yeah.
biggest things also, because I
Asian
like
food.
Asian food. There was a phase where I found this Spanish blog that I loved a bunch of those
Oh yeah.
stews
Wait,
and
Russian food also you.
Russian food also.
See, I've always thought
And-
of you as truly international and me as truly Guju. And that's the food we went back to when
Yeah.
we went to cooking for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that realization that I had that I could make something to my own liking. It's such a distinct idea which I didn't even get before, right? You always get food that is another person's view of what tasty is like.
Well, it's their view of what most people will like if it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
And if it's at home, then it's that
And
person's
it's
love.
that person's view. But the what really works for you can be a very a highly adjusted thing where you realize that okay, this combination of
Yeah.
spices made this way. There's a lot of things about myself that I learned in the cooking
Like that,
process.
just one squeeze of lemon on top changes
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But more than that, I feel it's even when somebody else makes food for you, but if it is made with love, then that missing lemon squeeze will
Yeah.
not be a problem, because
Yeah.
that'd be a little bit of a love squeeze in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But even though this is not what we were talking about, I'd like to address eating out a bit here. Because the quality of food we've been making and we've been eating is exceptional. You can't crave. I don't crave outside food, and it's not because हम तो सादा ही खाना खा रहे हैं, because हम सब कुछ बना रहे हैं, खा रहे हैं, हम सब कुछ अच्छे से source कर रहे हैं. There are ingredients that are coming that are good. In fact, one of my first business ideas was around this. I have that written somewhere. I should look into it.
Yeah, the quality.
Quality.
Like you don't. I didn't know that also. I didn't know how good vegetables would taste.
It became so good that you were asked if you would like host people. We hosted some people also for food,
Yeah.
but not your. Did you make anything? No. Yeah, once.
Yeah, I did make some.
Once you made something
Yeah.
for someone, but it was that good. It has been that good.
It's really, and I am surprised that the chai that I make is that good.
Your chai is
And-
so good that it's one of the only reasons I'm sad that it's summers.
Yeah, I also feel
Your
sorry
coffee
about
and
that. It doesn't
Maggie
come
continue
natural.
to suck though. Your Maggie, remember the time when my foot was broken and I said the only way I eat Maggie made by you is if there's a video camera of you making it in the kitchen and I am on the other side giving you
Oh
instructions.
God, that is completely ridiculous. Yeah, I propped up the
Camera on top. It
on
was
top,
I
and it was
I
showing
needed
you the
adventure. I needed some
That was
adventure
really
in
good.
my because that was before the electric wheelchair time.
That is another level of experience.
It was a fun
Cooking.
experience. Cooking with so when I was a kid, I would watch
Camera.
Sanjeev Kapoor shows and think that I'm
Yeah.
Sanjeev Kapoor. So I got to be remote Sanjeev Kapoor.
It was
Okay.
damn funny.
No, so eating out. Coming back to eating out, is good. We go out. We have nice meals sometimes. I don't crave them. I don't feel like going out. I don't have any need of going out I think once in 2 months we step out to sit down in a restaurant to eat.
Or go to the dhaba.
Go to the
That's
dhaba.
a unique experience.
That's
I
also
can't
once in
create
2
it.
months
Yeah.
only, max. But one thing, South Indian food we've not cracked at home yet very
Yeah.
well. So Naivedyam we go to once in a while.
That's really
And both of us went for regular South Indian even as kids.
yeah.
Out. South Indian is food is what we went out. And by South
You
Indian
go
food, I
out.
only mean idli dosas. I don't mean the
Yeah.
range of food that they have.
Yeah.
But if you are in Gurgaon, Naivedyam, ghee roast dosa is amazing. Amazing. You have to order the masala separately. And then you have to have it like sabzi. Oh,
Sabzi
mwah.
roti.
So, But we don't like feel the need to order on one month. Do you remember we were looking like, we don't generally budget, but 1 month we did thinking कि यार हो क्या रहा है life में, थोड़ा देखते तो है. 2-3 you tried many months, but we were able to do it our Zomato costs were very high.
Yeah.
And I don't believe we were able to change it overnight. I mean, I know we weren't able to change it overnight. But we didn't set out to change it also. We just set out to be healthy, happy.
Eat good food.
No, healthy, happy. Even eat good food came as a derivative of that. Just to feel good. And the byproduct of that has reached us a place where we're cooking. You're cooking more right now. But I'm also cooking sometimes.
Yeah.
And Didi is cooking. Jay is cooking.
One thing
we can talk about people and just take their alphabets. We'll do that. Jay cooks so well. I love Jay. And Jay is like a little, मैं आ गई घर पे हूँ.
This is a very really
Cute.
amazing attitude to cooking.
Yeah, she has a very good attitude to cooking. And then I hear people complain about they don't find a good cook. Because your good cook is on Zomato, why will she come home? If your good cook was not on Zomato, there would be a good cook in your home, I guarantee. अब तुम हर चीज़ के लिए blame नहीं करो दुनिया को.
Yeah. One thing that I realized very recently, and I think this comes with just maybe having more like ambient stillness in my mind, which is
what's that like?
Which is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. Which is at the beginning of the time when I was cooking, I would start with things and then go about like taking out things while I'm cooking. Like everything happened at like the taking out process, doing cutting process, cooking process, all happened completely chaotically in a way. And now I find myself like taking out everything at the beginning. Like everything that I need is right there, including the all the utensils I will use, all the...
You mean right there as in you've taken them out? Or they're just arranged so well that in the flow of work it just...
Both of those things actually that you're saying happen. But specifically that everything is just, like all the things that I need, it's not a chaos. It becomes a very simple... The way I go about cooking has become very simple right now. Making anything
you're confident also.
Yeah.
You're confident about one thing, so you're confident about everything.
That becomes like chai. I don't measure anything at all, and I'm genuinely still surprised that it comes out well so often that I'm really
every
happy
time it's really good.
Each time.
There are people that come and say, "Hey, you don't tell Pious to make chai, or don't tell that Jay to make chai. Tell Pious to make." We were coming over for peace chai.
Yeah.
And then I have to give a session over your chai. Chai is costing me anyway.
Yeah. So
but
okay,
other than that, what did you do? Digression.
But
back. The scenic route.
The scenic route.
This is you can talk about the scenic route. Your work
for 10 years.
Wait, before that, you sold a photograph today.
Yay!
Good job.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
And
the details don't matter.
Yeah.
But what matters is that you sold a photo. You said to me, Pious Saraswat, that I'm a photographer and a writer, and I want proof of that. You have gotten paid money to both be photographer and writer at this point.
Yeah.
Now, what? Do you have any doubts?
Fear is there little. But
Fear
yeah, I
is
know
better than doubt.
It's down the path. I'm on the path already.
You've been on the path only.
Yeah.
How, imagine your journey to photos journey that didn't start now.
Yeah, no, but I regained my like deep love for photography and
you had
visually admiring things.
A deep love for photography. Then you got to a place in your work. This is my perspective of the story. And I'm coming back to this time since you left your job. You had a deep love for photography, a natural love for beauty, a natural attraction. You're able to find beauty in ways that other people aren't able to see. And you're able to show it to them because you have a medium, your photographs. You had this when you had like an easy job But you're not going to have an easy job all your life. You're going to grow up and you're going to want more money, much more money. So you're going to not have an easy job. And if you're good at your job, like you really are also, but at a different job, you're going to spend more and more and more time at work and about work. And you're going to compete with people that are also now more refined. And you're going to make a rat race out of it. You can't not, because that's the environment. And you had completely stopped taking photographs. Like I used to tell you, please take one photograph. Please just take some photo. Like pick up your camera, do something. But no. Then I stopped saying also, because I didn't want to push that date when you picked up the camera. But then I never did anything. You just left your job, and one fine day you picked up your camera and you were taking photos, and now you sold a photo also.
So much.
Photograph.
And that I really love small beautiful details. It's one of
your Instagram channel, or just small beautiful details?
The channel, like what is right now a channel?
What is represented,
right
what is expressed in that channel?
Yeah, which is just small beauties that are there in front of us.
So what were the challenges that came even after Jay is here? आप लोग घर पे हो?
Okay, we're gonna pause it.
No, let's see if she says that.
We're pausing now.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, we talked about food, and then we planned lunch.
Yeah.
It's 10:21 right now. Lunch is gotten planned. She's gonna make. We're gonna eat by 12 max. And that's my main meal. I'm not gonna eat again. I may eat a fruit or something.
Fruits. We have a bunch of fruits at home, so
that's
eat.
Never a reason to eat today. That we have. But I'm just generally talking about how we're also eating less food, and that's also not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like you're
energizing.
It's quite energizing actually.
Yeah.
You're not eating excess, and you're not having to burn the excess. Like if you don't earn, you have a problem. But then you earn, and because you earn, you have to pay tax. And that, well, it's not an exact measure, but with food it becomes after a point. If you're just stuffing yourself, then you're like, oh, but I have a craving. Yes, I understand you have a craving, but that is then rooted in something else and something else and something. A craving means there is a denial of some nourishment, and that will ultimately manifest as an outside and an outside and an outside desire, which ultimately ends up being food and other base primary requirements of a human. But a human can evolve much more than that, and we must. It is really time. What do you have to say about this? And from the standpoint of your experience of having left your job and the time you've had with yourself since.
It's that there's so much like noise and things to do that I didn't see that there's so much subtleness to life also.
No, but when we put it like that, it seems like we're not doing things. We're doing much more than we ever have.
Yeah, it's a very, I think, external, like things maybe. There's a pace that I experienced life at, which was that there was always something to do, and that then that was not a internal. Okay, this is I feel like doing things, and therefore I would like to do them. It's I have to wake up at a particular time and need to be doing things that were externally imposed that maybe didn't.
Nothing is externally imposed. It is internally accepted. It's not externally imposed.
Internally, like maybe
accepted. Yeah, you wanted to do those things. You were a part. We were a part of that race.
Yeah, so but not internally accepted it. That's where the conflict
Yeah,
is there, right? It's the
internally,
heaviness that's
yes, you're
there
right.
between it being something that is fully accepted as something I want to do, and
Yeah,
I'm completely behind
yeah.
this.
I understand what you mean.
So
And I mean that.
those are very subtle things. You work anywhere, and whatever the general work that's happening, all of that can be absolutely great. But just the manner in which work is done, the manner in which I also approached work, was very different.
Yeah.
And I can see that there's alignment more
Yes,
right now. That the
yes.
stuff that I'm doing right now, I'm very committed to it.
Yes.
I'm very committed to just doing the thing that
But
needs to be
along
done.
with all of this, there's an acceptance, no, that I'm going to do it this way, in a way that keeps nourishing me and doesn't make me less. And the trade off of that does mean that there's a lot of things that you've let go.
Yeah.
But are you any less, or is your life any less rich because of having let
No,
go
it
of
becomes
those
much
things?
more rich. It's become so much more rich right now. Every day.
In every way.
Yeah, my experience of work is a very enjoyable thing.
I would
now.
go as far as saying that you do 30x more work every day than you did when you were in a job. And much
Yeah,
more,
maybe,
like the
maybe.
impact that it has in the world is 30x minimum than what was happening when you were doing a job.
Yeah. It's truly wonderful.
30x is not small.
Yeah, it's a very big number.
Don't you guys in your meetings would go crazy at 30x, yay, party.
Yeah. Okay, I want to get back to
The
some
list.
of the things.
We're on the list.
Connecting with nature is something that really changed. So, shifting to the ground floor, just everything that happened as a result of that, and there was a whole ecosystem that came because of that.
You had already left your job before we moved to the ground floor.
Yeah.
In fact, the month you left your job, and the next month we moved to the ground floor.
Yeah. The just going out to the park, going out seeing trees. I realized I didn't even notice. I didn't notice trees before. Yes, it's a very hard thing to really communicate. Actually, like how do you not see things that have always been in front of you? But no, I don't know any way to express this idea that there's
It's
things
always
that are
been
just there, but you just don't
It's
see
like
them. You
the
see
fish
them in a very
asking where
different
is
way.
water.
Yeah.
And you're seeking that water, you are in it. You are saddened by it, by the lack of it, but you're in it.
Yeah. It's always there around you, and being a part of that experience of seeing that, okay, just the scene actually changes every day.
Every
The
day.
leaves are different, the flowers are different, the animals around are different. Like, so much changes, and so, like, those patterns of nature that, like, represent, like, the most basic patterns that exist in our world, right? I felt blind to them completely, and now I observe them, like, whenever I go out in the morning, whenever I go out at any point of time, there's something about how things. I see the changes
Because you're
around
not in
me
your
so
head.
much.
You're not in an imaginary time-space reality. You are in your real time-space reality. And in your real time-space reality, the elements are doing things.
Yeah. Like, it's like earlier I had this mindset of analyzing everything.
You
It had
still
become
do.
very analytical.
You still do. But
Yeah,
yes,
I'm
yes,
sure.
no, I'm just saying that. You really did, and you've done so well on it.
There was a logical, like, and logic, I see, just blinds you to what is in front of you at all. Right? You see something, and then you're like, this is obvious that is like this because seasons work like this. Some concepts just come in my mind.
Logic comes from the existence of having knowledge, having the memory.
And then all those links then come together, but you just don't see what's in front of you.
You don't see the sunset.
You don't see the beauty of that thing because you are being like, yahi to hai, sun rises every day.
It's obvious.
It's okay.
What? The sun is setting in the west. Obviously, I read this when I was
Yes,
in
it
class
is
4.
spring, flowers come.
What's the big deal? It's
Yeah.
also hot.
Like those things, and then or it becomes an idea that like, it's hot, global warming is there, that's why it's hot, and these sort of ideas that they don't exist right now when you're looking at
Okay.
something in front of you. And that is a very big change for me that happened. That you can experience something right now. You don't have to think about the morality of something, the meaning of it, whether it's beautiful or not, whether it is good
Whether
or not.
it is beautiful for others or not. Whether 30 others have... No, 30 is not good enough anymore. 1 million others have validated this as trending.
Yeah.
Then it is worth my attention.
Yeah.
If nobody has said that this little cactus that's here that I'm looking at is trending, now it's not trending till it starts to trend. Okay, you want to just quickly go through, because I feel we've overextended, but I want to say something in a wrap up. So that's why I'm asking if you want to quickly
I'll
just say
go
5,
through
10 things.
Some things. This house getting redone completely.
Talk
Us
about
just
a
doing
little.
all of that.
Just one line, like beautiful home, captions, we're bullet point people. Beautiful home, aesthetics, beautiful organization,
You're just
beautiful.
putting hashtags. You're seeming like one of the hashtags at the bottom of a reel.
You have to do that. Like, because how does a person know? What do they know? When you say beautiful home, what does it mean? Right? It is a very specific standard to you of beauty. But for us, it's more of a space that feels nice, feels
Making
right.
things that work for us.
For you.
And it's like the food thing I said, right? You don't realize even what works for you in the house, right? You have ideas of, acha, this is how a house should be. And you are just absolutely amazing in this, right? The way in which you see elements completely building, everything is a building block to
All
you.
the time.
All the time. I love that quality of you. I have... I've not told you this. I have a few photos of things that I've found very unique things that you have done that are very out of the ordinary.
Digressing. So house, we also have, if you end up looking just look around what the room looks like. We're in some sort of this is color therapy, proper color therapy. Like every room, it really is. There is people want big houses. Our house is small, but there is so much space in our house. And it's not like we don't have anything we don't need. We have everything we need and more. But I remember when we moved into this house, I took you on remember that scrolly board? I used to write long, teach rolls and rolls worth in a session and then tear it
and then bind them up like manuscripts.
No, I never bound it up, but I remember walking around once with a 20-foot scroll trying to show you something with the rest of it trailing. Then the cat started peeing on it and I was like, okay, I don't need to hold on to this also, and got rid of it. Anyway, in that I had written once with you maybe 30 sort of spaces, zones that we wanted to create in this home. We have all of them right now. If you reflect, you will see we have all of those zones in the same tiny house. Nothing feels cluttered. Nothing feels... Anyway, this is also something that you then eventually work on. When your inside is clean, then your outside gets clean also. But you keep focusing on cleaning your outside because the internet tells you to have an organized cupboard. It doesn't work. Yeah, what are some other things on the list? No digression.
Who's gonna not digress?
You.
Okay. Yeah, so the house, and so both redoing so many aspects, but in that process again going through a giving up of so much of the stuff that we accumulated over the years. We have a small fraction of things right now. Beautiful.
I the reason I digress is because you're again going back and saying what you did. I don't want to know that. I know what you did. I saw that. I want to know what that did for you. You being able to do that action, what that created. So if you're talking about the house, I want to hear about how you feel being in the house. I don't want to hear about the fact that we gave away a lot of stuff.
What the okay, I'll talk about, like, I loved the process of the house getting done. Like, from having to put away the cats every day, figuring out their thing, figuring out how different pieces come together, like that um, project of building something that I'm going to stay in. I love that.
Okay, what other things did you love?
Okay, nice. Like motorcycle.
Oh,
I
you
learned how to
learned the
drive.
motorcycle.
I love that. Started drawing.
So
Lots
much.
of things. I started making. In this list, I started making reels also. Like, I hadn't made a reel before.
Is it a big thing to make a reel? Like, why
It
is
is a
it
new
getting a
format
mention?
of things.
It is a new format of
This thing is
expression.
very detailed. Like, because all of these things are,
No, I
there
am
are
with you,
boundaries
but
that are there.
I'm with you. But I want to see this podcast. It is a conversation between you and me. But it is always on my mind that it is for somebody else.
Yeah.
For somebody is consuming. So what are they getting?
It is that there are so many levels of boundaries that happen in sharing, and those things are like, okay, I'm curating a story together. Another boundary for me was writing like long form written text where I'm sharing my life. I'm trying to share something that I have seen as a pattern in my life, and I've got something out of it. Talking on camera as a voiceover, that's a different, like, all of these are different boundaries for me, where I had thought that, okay, that I'm scared of doing, that I feel I don't feel like I can do that. So many layers of things. These are all like opening up of ideas that, okay, this is also a normal thing. This is also a normal thing. Like, I was.
Yeah, so now you cannot sit and say, oh, I am self-conscious, because you've already done some things that prove to your own mind that you're not.
This podcast, right? I was very conscious about my own voice. Yes. And how I sound. Do I sound like an idiot? And now we completely. I am completely comfortable with posting this.
I get it.
Immediately, like, without review, without.
Yeah, we do that.
And we do that. Hey, this is the 10th episode, by the way, which is
cool.
Yeah.
Is this the end of the season?
No, there's no season.
That's why this is 10A and 10B. The finale is generally longer. Wait, this is not the finale. We'll have to do some sort of it's rite of passage in some way.
Yeah. So
do we do it for any reason other than the joy of doing it? To be honest, because we don't even see how many people saw it. Like, once in a way we will say, "Acha, dekho kis wale mein koi views," and then we'll be like, "Oh, so many impressions." Oh.
Yeah. That's less. It
doesn't matter.
Less. Not important.
Not important to me at all.
It is actually just a conversation.
I go out of my way to unfollow people. I shouldn't be saying, but like, if you see, I had 8,000 contacts in my phone at one point. If I didn't chato, I would Dubo, like that scene in Game of Thrones where Jon Snow is surrounded by the army of the dead, is it? I would become like that.
Oh God, that is an analogy.
He just like comes up for air.
That's
so
an analogy.
I had to do that, and then when I did, I said, okay, fuck, okay, and just start really focusing on what you want, and everything else just settled around the vision of that focus.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, so I go out of my way to alienate people not alienate, I love them, but my love cannot be on social media. And on social media has a purpose for me, which is to spread a certain message and create certain things. For that, I don't need to follow human beings that... Anyway.
Yeah.
And then therefore that has an impression in the world that, oh, this is happening, she's not interested, we shouldn't be interested. But it doesn't matter, because this message, whoever it has to go to, will go through. Like, if you are listening to this right now, this message is for you.
Yeah.
even if it is one person.
Yeah.
And to that one person, what do you want to say?
This thing that you said is one of the most profound changes that has happened in my life, which is whatever is happening in front of me, whatever I'm hearing is for me.
Yeah.
And that's a very different thing than, I feel it's my logical mind that used to be that whenever something would happen, I would either try and measure it as a probability, or second, I would come up with a reasoning as to, acha, this is how this thing would happen. Like I would diminish what is there. I would say that, okay, this message is probably for this sort of person. Whatever, like there would be some sort of reasoning that wouldn't get me to really
This puts me into a segue towards the wrap-up conversation I wanted to have. Shall I do that, or you want to say more things from the list?
Let me just go through it quickly.
Just say it quickly, and then we'll pause this and restart this conversation.
Yeah. I started reading sci-fi. I had not read in forever. So many, like Ted Chiang. If anyone loves sci-fi, it's the most beautiful, most profound short stories that you can read. I fell in love with the whole genre and opened up my
Three-body
mind
problem
so much.
is not Ted Chiang though, right?
No,
it's some other person.
That's also wonderful, but Ted Chiang is like my favorite. The depth of all of the short stories is just something.
Sorry.
Poetry, I learned to love. I found so much.
Your poetry has brought
it.
so much love and joy to some people. Like what you've written, that one poem that you wrote, that has my favorite line ever written by you.
Yeah.
And then the poetries that you read and share with people. Yeah. I know some of my clients have been able to better understand the work we're doing with some of the, what are they called? Hokkaido? No.
Haiku.
Haikus! It's
nice.
Haikus that you have shared with them.
Yeah. Absolutely. So both writing poetry and just appreciating poetry so much.
Okay.
The rest are all like connections with so many people.
No, but that's huge also, right?
And that's a lot of them.
Your need for social engagement was dying down when you were working in a sort of a headless chicken sort of a way, which is how most people do their corporate jobs. If you're not doing it that way, good job, you can keep doing it. But if you're doing it that way, there's a possibility to do it differently. Or to do something different, or do the same thing differently.
Do the same thing.
That's what transformation is.
Yeah, I can see it's my way of seeing things, and that has changed completely.
Because now you're involved in some projects.
Now that applies to anything. If I was to do the same stuff over there, I'd do the same. I would do it in a very different way.
That's exactly what transformation coaching is.
Yeah.
That it's not that I have an issue with X and X will disappear from your life. Your reason of issue with X will disappear, will melt. And what else do you want?
Yeah, so that's most of the points. Everything else is like derivatives.
What were you talking about, which I said is a segue into the conversation that I wanted to say? Anyway, I can wrap it without knowing what that was. Is that I want to say, don't just listen to this and say, oh, let me not order from Zomato anymore, or oh, let me not do that. Don't take away do's and don'ts from this conversation. If you are to take away something, take away that these people decided or allowed life or surrendered to life, or whichever way you want to look at it. Let's just say decided for the logical mind. Decided to say, okay, well-being is to be there. We may not know how to get it, but it is there. And seeked it out. And it came. And with the work that you've seen happen, with individuals, you know it's not a one-off that it happened for us. It happens with everybody that seeks it.
Yeah.
You have to seek it. So seek your well-being, whatever that is. And that's not, I'm not saying self-care routine, go put a face mask. I also put a face mask once in a while, but not because it's Sunday 10 a.m. and I deserve it. Nothing with that sort of an exhaustion. There is no Monday blues, no Friday blues. I take 5 a.m., 4 a.m. sessions on Sunday. There's no blues, there's no greens, there's only rainbows. No, there are dark times also. That's different. Even those dark times are like rainbows, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
But take that. Seek what you are here to seek, which is your own well-being.
Yeah.
Everything else. One thing that we didn't mention is cats. The amount of work we've been able to, we're just two of us. And we basically run a trust by ourselves within ourselves.
Yeah.
We sometimes have reached out to a few close people for cash help. Reasons have been two. One is the expenses are enormous with taking care of so many strays, but also because we wanted to spread the word. Sometimes it's not like we didn't have that 5,000, but we just wanted somebody else to come up and say, oh, this is a thing I can be involved. Wanted to give them a way to do that. And also make it lighter on us, that, you know, all the time if we're going to do this, then, because we also have seen animal workers that do much more work than us, but I see them losing themselves. I remember once I saw a woman who looks after animals and she was looking half dead to me. You can't be like that. You're not going to do much service to the world. Your net to the world is not service. You're doing that also in the same way people are doing their jobs. No point. You might as well do a job and be happy. If that's the case.
And it's you build a community of people that then get more.
Now though we do
have
so
such a
many
big
people.
community
There was nobody. I
cat
remember
lovers.
somebody came and sort of many people in the beginning were threatening us with the work we were doing almost. Like I felt attacked and threatened, but now it's opposite. People like, what can we do? What can we do? They're not coming to us, and you just have to begin. Everything gets taken care of in the outside. Inside is your responsibility. Take charge. Don't treat our like, please, if, like, do me this favor, don't treat this podcast as something you're listening, or anything that you and I put out, or at least I put out. Don't treat it as something to consume and be impressed by, or be like, oh, they have this, or whatever. Take what nourishes you from it and nourish yourself, because that's my life's goal, to help people in their well-being. And if you're taking something from anything we put out, try and take that. But take whatever you need.
Yeah.
That's the wrap-up. Don't think, oh, if I leave my job, all of this will happen. There is a pre-preparation to you leaving your job also that happened. You've been meditating and doing yoga for quite a while. You've been slowly seeking your own well-being over time, which led to you leaving your job, which led to everything that has happened. So everything is a cycle. Nothing is a cut, start. So respect that cycle. Take anybody's help if you must. Whoever's that is, doesn't have to be mine, but somebody who has done something in that direction.
Each thing leads you in the step to the next thing. It's like if you're clear that you want to enjoy life and you want to get more of what the human experience is, I feel each step comes as you're ready for that step, and then that leads to the next thing. That leads to the next thing.
This is reminding me of that drawing that I was doing, which is on that board, where it does. That drawing won't explain this conversation, but in another way, that definitely explains it. Human evolution. Human has to evolve. Look around you. Get real. Like, I have not known what is in the news for 10 to thoda zyada ho gaya, but 7, 8 years. I haven't known what is going on. I do not know the names of people. You would think I definitely should know the names of being an educated human being. But it is time to become conscious and live with your own awareness, borrowed. So do that. Look around you, get real, things are going to shit. You don't want it to go to shit for your children. A lot of people have children, so we can say that. Then you got to do something now.
And you just do it by doing everything around you.
Yeah, you don't have
That
to
is it.
like go to the moon or the Mars. Moon to ab do chota ho gaya.
Because there's a massive problem somewhere else doesn't mean that
This
right
problem
around
is not there. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to get much done by posting about big things elsewhere. You're going to get much more done by doing small things right here.
Yeah.
It's a good message.
to end
Good truth of life also for us.
Yeah.
Happy 12 years of living together.
Same to you. See
How
you.
have they been? See you. Okay. How
Yeah.
have they been? अब बोल ही दो वरना थोड़ा insulting हो जाएगा.
How have they been?
Like say one line about that also.
It's changed. It's been such a journey to go through every single stage of
Very beautiful.
all of it, right? And you realize only, I feel in retrospect, how each thing leads to the next thing. It's the same journey of like you desire a wonderful relationship, then that comes together in all its
Might.
intricate ways.
And intricate way. Subtle and maximum.
Yeah. So that's what it's been for me.
It has been an honor. It's been very nice. It has been an honor, right? Because everything has been a learning.
Yeah.
Everything has been a joy. Very nice. Okay. Bum 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 bum.
Bum 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 bum. Bye bye.